Can you believe it? Millennials now overtake the baby boomer population. There are some serious risks, however, which will present themselves in the coming years. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we'll look at the US population by age. You can see this chart. The baby boomers are no longer the biggest group. Millennials with 85 million have taken the top spot. So this is good for some reasons and not good for others. What we need to do is look deeper into the issue here about consumption, about the markets. How will this make the change as the next 5, 10, 20 years roll on? U.S. home ownership rate. So clearly in the 90s, you saw the interest rates declining. More and more people became homeowners. It peaked out here right around the time of the housing crisis, obviously. And as a result, many people decided that renting would be a better option. So that declined significantly as the years went on here. But there has been some level of retracement, but I would assure you that this is very small in relation to how far it's come down. If you look at what happened here, let's take approximately 1995. It did take, if we're going at the same rate, it took, let's say, about 10 years for it to get up to that level that it was at. So another 10 years would put us into at least 2025 to get back to that home ownership rate. I don't know what's going to happen, but a lot of people, a lot of these baby boomers, they're retiring, they're going to get into different facilities that they need help. They need to either get into smaller places, downsizing, or they need to rent the place because they're on a fixed income. Perhaps they are going to live in care facilities, long-term care facilities. They're not going to have that same ownership level on their part. So it's for the millennials to sort of take over there, but many of them, I would suggest, are unable to do so at this time, and we are now at the peak, the absolute peak. So if they don't get in now, it will take a little while for them to be able to afford that, particularly when you look at wages. So let's take a look at this here. U.S. New Purchase Mortgage Applications Index. And while definitely we're not at the bottom of where it was, we haven't really come up that far since what happened after the housing crisis. So this presents itself to be a problem in the future. Now, they're not buying it with cash, we know that. So ultimately what's happening here is that there's a stagnation in the the housing market in general. You can see the prices have risen, definitely, in certain areas. Nationally, I believe in the US it's at about 6% at this time, and if an increase here year over year. But you can see that the actual statistics, when you look deeper into the housing, you see the problems. And this is just one example of that. Okay, next. U.S. labor force participation rate for those aged 16 to 24. So this would give us a good idea, and you will see that we have a big issue that is very clear, very evident. But you look around the world, especially in Europe, and you see the problems even worse. It's not a good thing when individuals are at this time unable to find jobs. Maybe they're not working for good reason, maybe it's they can't find the jobs, but either way, many people are pushed into an area where they simply can't get anything, especially when they could find people who are maybe older, maybe they have more skills, they're willing to work for minimum wage, which of course continues to increase. So I think that a lot of these individuals need to find alternative sources of income. That brings me to my next point here. A little bit of positivity. We see today with the internet, more and more people are earning significant incomes. Think about what has happened over the years. Even when I was going to school myself, I remember growing up before the internet was around, believe it or not, and having to go to the library to get a book off the shelf, and whatever the encyclopedia had, that's what I could do my project on. That's what I could learn about. Now, people just reach into their pocket and they pull the entire internet right there, accessible wherever they are in the world. Times have really changed. So the access to information has really increased, basically giving individuals today, particularly young people who are really able to understand the internet and use technology, unlike many of the older generations who might not necessarily care as much. The younger generations really take it on. So they have an advantage here that they can attain knowledge, which means they can use that to their advantage. Many don't, but they can. So there's an opportunity that could present itself, and I hope that more people in the younger generations will use the internet for its good things rather than for its silly things and time-wasting things. U.S. real median household income, householder aged at 25 to 34. They are suggesting here for a moment that things are increasing. I believe that it is credit and debt that is increasing. I don't know where they're getting the household income. That's just that's really the way I look at it. I mean, if you're gonna buy something on credit and you're paying the minimums, do you really own it? Well, according to the statistics, maybe you do, but I simply don't factor it in like that. But anyway, I'll end it there. Quick video for you. If you found it informative, please give me a thumbs up. Last but not least, if you found this video informative, then I know you'll find my books, The Money GPS and my newer release, Global Economic Collapse, even more informative. If you want to take a look through the books, there are links in the description of this video, so you can flip through them at Amazon. Take a look. Take care.